Hey everyone, so my last few videos have been, I'd say funny, like quite humorous and not serious, but I'm gonna be sitting down in this video and talking about a more serious topic, which is grief and bereavement, losing loved ones. I have experienced this on 2 occasions by losing my mum and my nan both to cancer. My mum died nearly 4 years ago when I was 14. She had 3 types of cancer. She had lung, brain and breast. The breast one came first, and I remember when she was diagnosed and she told me, and my first thought was, people die of cancer. There's no way to fight it. But I was wrong in some ways. She fought it. She fought like a trooper. She had chemotherapy, and I remember walking down the high street one day with her, and she was bald because of the chemotherapy makes you lose your hair, so most people find it easier to just shave it all off because it's painful when it comes out in clumps. So it was easier to do that, and I remember someone from school laughing because my mum was bald. I remember feeling so angry because she couldn't help that. That wasn't her choice. So we went out and bought some hats for her, and I remember choosing the hats together. I chose a polka dot beanie hat. I remember that all the time. She hated that hat. She wore it around me because she knew I liked it. But obviously, I have never had a keen sense for fashion. But her diagnosis was something I had to deal with quite quickly because towards the end, she was in a hospital and I learnt to grow up quickly. I knew that I was going to end up independent as an adult, but not at 14, like cooking my own meals and being home alone for several hours on end. I didn't expect that to happen as quick as it did because we went to Tea on the beach in July. I can't remember what year, but she was coughing a lot and she was out of breath quite easily, and a few weeks later she was diagnosed with lung cancer, and then it spread to her brain, and that was it. There was no way of fighting it. The fight was over. She was done. I still remember the day that she passed. I wouldn't say it was traumatic, but it's unforgettable. I had to ring 999 and get paramedics to come and see her because she was not herself. She was asking for my dad, and my dad was at work. I was home alone with her, and I didn't know what to do, and I panicked and rang 999, but I think it was for the best. She didn't want to be in this house. She didn't have to be in this house. She had to be somewhere where she could get professional attention. And that night, my dad went to the hospital. He came back, got me, got my sister, and told us together. He said, she's gone. And I've never felt so emotionless. My heart broke into 2. Like my world was split in half. And I just remember the atmosphere in that car was horrible. None of us wanted to hear that. At that point, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be anywhere. I just wanted to cry in a corner somewhere. Because I had never felt so numb. I was numb. I can't put it into words, the feeling. But all I have left is photos and memories, and I can't take any more photos with her, and I can't create any more memories, and that sucks. Let me tell you that. It sucks. On to my nan. My nan had lung cancer, and she was diagnosed when I was 16 and passed away when I was 17. It's been a year because I'm now 18. I remember when she told me and my dad, she had tears in her eyes. it was not something I wanted to hear, having lost my mum to lung cancer. But yet again, think positive. It'll be okay. Every time I tell myself to think positive, I just expect the worst. She worsened over time, and towards the end she was in hospital. And I remember on her last day, I came home from college and I said to my dad, I'm going to go ring Nan, see how she is, like check on her. And he told me not to bother because she was back in hospital. And that night my sister texted him 2 words: she's gone. I just remember those 2 words. They've stuck in my head. And my world was torn in half again. Literally, my world was shattered into quarters by this rate. Because I had lost the most important women in my life, the most influential people that I wanted to grow up with, and they were gone. And I couldn't stop that. I didn't know how to feel. So that was my story of losing my mum and Nan. Now, this part of the video is advice. If you know someone that is going through grief and bereavement, listen to them. It doesn't matter if they're crying about the same thing like the 10th time. All someone asks for when they're grieving is a shoulder to cry on and an ear to listen. I remember grieving and I was talking to my friends and they were listening to me, and it meant the world because I felt respected. I felt like they wanted to hear what I had to say and they wanted to comfort me. Don't be afraid to talk about your feelings out loud. Believe it or not, it took quite a lot of guts to sit here and make this video because I didn't know how hard it was going to be, and it actually is harder than I thought because I don't talk about this out loud often, and when I do get upset about it. And I'm not going to lie to you, I am upset right now because grief is never ending. There's no easy way to cope with it, but there's no right or wrong way either. If you want to sit in the corner and cry for a year, do it. No one's stopping you. No one can tell you can't. It's okay to seek counselling and stuff because grief isn't just about loss. It's about change. Adjusting without the person here. You have to adjust to the change of not having them here anymore. Like, I had to adjust to coming home to an empty house and not having my mum sat in the corner going, "Oh, hello, how was your day?" And that was hard. It's hard now to not hear her voice because when I look in the mirror, I see her in me. I am my mother's daughter. I look like her, I speak like her, I've got her personality. There's no denying that I am related to my mum. I do break down. I confess. I break down. I cry every so often. I look at a photo or think of a memory and it reduces me to tears because I know that I can't get that back. And it's okay to sit and cry. Do not bottle up your emotions because they'll fizz inside the bottle, and when you eventually open up the bottle, they're going to go everywhere and they're going to come out at once. And grief is uncontrollable. You can't control your feelings of grief. Whatever's going to happen, just let it happen. One feeling that I get from grief is jealousy. I'm jealous of people that haven't lost anyone. I can't remember what that feels like anymore, to have everyone you love around you, because the 2 women that I loved in my life, the most important women, they've been taken from me, and I can't control that. But I am so lucky that I had amazing friends to get me through it, and family, of course. Like, they would let me sit and talk about it. Like, that makes me happy, but that's not what grief is. I don't want to sound like I'm breaking the news, but you feel so many emotions. I felt angry, guilty, sad, confused, and numb. I remember, like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to sleep, I didn't want to drink. But the one thing I took away from all of this is you have to physically look after yourself, and it will look after your mental health. Don't forget to eat, don't forget to sleep, don't forget to shower or drink. And most of all, don't shy away from people that are trying to help you. Don't push them away because you don't want to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But do not push away the people that care. If you came here seeking advice, there it is. It's okay to cry. It's okay to not want to speak to anyone. Everyone's got their own coping strategies. And even now, 3 years, almost 4 years later since losing my mum, I still cry about it. And that's okay. People accept that. Years ago, if you cried, you were worried what people would think, but now, I don't. If I cry and someone cares enough to ask what's wrong, I will tell them. It might make me cry even harder, but I will tell them. Don't suffer alone. Even if it's counselling you seek, a good chat with a friend, a family member. You can even message me. I'm happy to talk. I just don't want to know that someone's suffering alone. No one deserves that. Grief is not something I would wish upon even someone I hate the most. That's my video, and yeah, that's probably the most serious that I'm ever gonna be, like sitting down and talking about grief, but I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. Like, I hope you took something away from this video. So thanks for watching, see you again soon, bye.